Yeah, every time you turn around, the Democrats are screaming just for the sake of screaming, I believe. Joining us now to talk about the legal side of this, Jeremy Rosenthal is here. Jeremy, I got to tell you, I'm totally good with trimming the fats and being transparent about my tax dollars. And corporations do it every day. All right, we got to trim because we're not making as much money, and it's kind of wasteful spending, and we can get the job done better if we kind of trim. So I don't get the pushback from Democrats other than the fact that they just hate Trump.
You've got a lot to unpack here, and this is all of these maneuvers, all of these things. I like to call them lawyer stimulus packages because it keeps us employed, driving the nice cars that we need to be driving. Let's start with DOGE, right? The department is something that Donald Trump created through executive action on day one. The executive can create a new department like this. It doesn't always work this way. The Department of Education, that's statutory, that's by Congress. Same with the Department of Energy. But USAID, that was created by President Kennedy, and that's in the news a lot too. So when you create an entity through executive action only, it's not going to have a ton of teeth. Because those executive orders are sort of these in the middle layer type of, well, this is how the government's going to operate thing. So when Elon Musk is going and the opposition, Trump's opposition has a word, they have branded these guys. You remember Elliot Ness? Those guys were the untouchables. They call these guys the tech bros, and they say the tech bros are these 24-year-olds with laptops, and they go by skateboard from one federal department to another, and they plug in and then they get all the data. I think the attorney generals who have brought suit to stop at least the Treasury Department from relinquishing consumer data, social security numbers, things like that, are saying, look, we're equally as worried that you're going to screw it up as you are that you're going to abuse it. And what they're also concerned about is that they're saying, look, you're also getting the information to where you could actually, if the executive wanted, could shut down tax refunds, could shut down social security checks. Not that they would do that, but that's what
that's part of the Democrats' mantra to paint doom and gloom in everything they bring up. Oh my God, here's what could really happen. They could just ruin everything when it comes to your taxes, and they could really get you in a position where you have to, sell off everything, and your house could be taken away from you. It's like, what are you talking about? I mean, they're making stuff up in the potential that doom and gloom could happen if this happens here. I got to tell you, I wish there was a law where you can just play this card if need be, and that's the common sense card, okay? It is common sense that people in this country, one, have transparency when it comes to their tax dollars and where they're going. So for these guys to kind of clean it up, because every time you involve money, and USAID is one of these things, that it's all about the money that Kennedy put in there. Kennedy's intentions were good in this. But what's happened over the time, just like a Pelosi that stays in forever, they come in and they make about $250 grand. Next thing you know, she's out of there making about $250 million later. Why and how is that happening? I think we all should want to know and see what's going on there. Same with the spending that the government's doing with our money. It's not the government's money. It belongs to us. And so if they want to open up the door and show everything that's happening in the process, bring it on. No wonder these people are upset about it. It's taking money out of their own individual pockets.
And transitioning to the buyout, Jonathan Turley kind of talking about that. I think he seems pretty confident that Trump is on solid executive ground. To me, I think the issue is the purse strings, because Congress traditionally, the president can dictate, here's what you're going to do. Congress is who pays you. That's who's got the purse strings. So if you take the buyout, I don't know that the money is necessarily going to be there, and you would be forced potentially to bring a lawsuit. In which case, if I was doing that, I would call Jonathan Turley as my witness. And we talk about common sense, JT. It's common sense that Alabama is a basketball state, because you guys have the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country in hoops. Who knew?
And isn't it kind of cool that we're a basketball state and a football state? I mean, come on.
I'm saying, man, I'm in Texas. I'm jealous. I mean,
welcome to the
craziness.
SEC, my brother. Welcome. So, all right, one last quick, your thoughts on the Gitmo move here, as this judge jumped in and said, no, you can't do that either. Wait a minute. These are some of the most, horrific criminals in our country coming from these Venezuelan gangs, and Trump's shipping them out. Anybody in the room want the gang members to stick around? Thanks, Judge. Appreciate you. I mean, come on.
This is also another lawyer stimulus package issue. Guantanamo Bay. You've got 20 years of crazy law that is specific to Guantanamo because of the 9/11 terrorists. You have the legal right to what's called habeas corpus just by going to Guantanamo Bay. It is a special. There is a rule that says that. And there's a lot of underpinnings to that, right? So let's say I'm in Birmingham. I'm charged with murder. I'm here undocumented, and I'm one of the guys that say, "You first. We're putting you on a plane to Guantanamo Bay." My first complaint is, "Look, my lawyer's in Birmingham. You're denying me counsel." And then
we're going to put you in our holding cell until we go through your due process, just like they hold criminals while the due process is going on. Our cell just happens to be at Gitmo. So get on the plane and get the heck out of our country.
You'd make a good lawyer, JT. That's what I love about this, man. But yeah, that's their argument. Also, you've also got just a quagmire of legal issues because when you are taken to a foreign country like Cuba, it's not a territory of the U.S. So legally, there are arguments that, look, you've already deported me, but you didn't give me the things. So a lot of places to fight.
I don't get the people that want to fight for this, including a lawyer, including a judge that wants to keep a terrorist that's basically a gang member from Venezuela who wants to just terrorize every place they go. I don't get why would you be the guy that steps up and says, "Oh, we can't do this." I mean, the ACLU paying you to get in the direction of doing this? It's ridiculous. By the way,
I'll say this, JT.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, see, as a lawyer, we're like gangsters. We're like rappers. Like I'm ashamed to represent a guy that has only got like a suspended driver's license. Okay. I am like, I want some street cred too here. I want to be like, yeah, that's my, look at me. I'm
the guy that keeps the gang members in your neighborhood. Don't you love me? Well, Jeremy, I like you, but these judges that jump in the middle of all this, killing me. All right, buddy. Thanks. We'll do it again soon.